Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Perry, and I'm here with the lovely and fabulous,
Julia Perry.
and we are with Perry Home Solutions. And
We specialize in real estate, helping people buy and sell real estate. So you know who to call.
now Special Needs Trusts. We have an incredible
Knowledge.
knowledge base on special needs trusts. Maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So we wanted to bring you a Perry Home Solutions real estate news update. A couple of interesting things have popped up recently. Julie, what shall we discuss today?
Well, there's a couple of things. I guess we'll see how we're feeling. But now we're starting a new year, and the market has been changing for a while, and we're just kind of thinking, there's some people that are successfully selling, of course, our clients, and there are some that are unfortunately sitting on the market and not selling, and there may be some things that some sellers are some mistakes that they're making or things that they're not aware of that is affecting their ultimate goal of selling
Talk to
their
us.
house.
What mistakes are they making?
Well, the first one, which might be hard pill to swallow for some sellers, unfortunately, is what we call aspirational pricing, which is, we did go through the crazy COVID times.
Aspirational. It's a really great phrase. Aspirational pricing.
Things that you wish your house would sell for,
Very
but
diplomatic.
it might not happen. So after the crazy COVID years where prices just exploded and things were selling for crazy amounts of money, you might have seen your neighbor, your friend, your family member that sold for X, Y, or Z, and now you're like, oh, now that it's my time to sell, I want to get what they got. And so it's this, issue of thinking that you're going to get those prices, and unfortunately, that's not where we are right now.
Okay, so the problem is the price too high.
In their mind, in some minds, their price is too high.
What do you mean in their
It's
mind?
not, what they would like to get.
But you're saying, just to be
unfortunately.
clear, there are many sellers, many of them are ours, are successful in selling their houses right now. Yet you're also saying there are some people that are not having success selling their house.
Yes, and one
of those reasons is aspirational pricing. So what's the conclusion? So we've identified the problem. How do you solve the problem?
work with your agent. And
Us.
Yes, and look objectively at the market, see what has been selling recently, not what sold 2 years ago, and also what hasn't been selling, which is also very revealing in a turning market.
Yeah.
If you see your neighbor was asking X and they sat on the market for 6 months and ultimately didn't sell, then obviously that price is not working. So you want to also be looking at quote unquote failed listings and what they were asking, so you can see what is not working.
Yeah, that's a good point. We used to look at that when the market was very bad, like in 2007, 8, 9, 10. You look at the sale prices, but those wouldn't really matter as much because the sales took place 3-6 months ago, and prices went down since then. So a sold property was sold for higher than the current value, so those didn't really help you. So you'd look at the active listings, which were priced commonly below, the successful ones were priced below the sales, and then you look at expired listings, ones that went the duration of their listing agreement and failed to sell and then came off the market, and these would give you some more insight into value. You know?
And then another thing to consider is time of the market is also increased. There was this they're saying that in average it's taking 81 to 102 days in areas like Boynton Beach, which is where we are, but probably it's the same in other Lake Worth and so forth, compared to roughly 66 to 73 days last year.
Okay.
So it might take you longer.
So I think we got what's next. Talk to me.
Something also very important, I think, is in a lot of people's minds is insurance.
Yeah, insurance is a problem.
Specifically, some new changes that have come into place with Citizens Property Insurance, and that has come into effect as of January 1st of 2026. So a lot of people that have Citizens, this might apply to them, which will be significant, if it affects you. So let me see what we can kind of keep it down to the bottom line here. They are making it so you have to carry flood insurance. Saying here, if your dwelling replacement cost is $400,000 or more, which is not difficult in our area.
And that's for citizens.
Or citizen policy holders.
So very simply, if you hold Citizens insurance, you have to get flood insurance now.
Yes.
That's the major change. So you
Yes.
need to be aware of that. Okay, what else we got? Let's roll.
Regardless of whether you're in a no flood zone or not.
Got it.
And also roofs, they're very strict. Your roof have to have at least 5 years of useful life for them to either renew you or take you
Or not.
on. Yeah. And so sometimes could be a challenge for sellers. And I think that's also is always difficult when you're trying to see, well, should I replace my roof? Should I not replace my roof? It always becomes like sometimes could be contentious, but especially in the situation where your buyer might literally not be able to obtain insurance, because normally Citizens was used to be the last resort. Like if all other carriers failed, you could get Citizens.
Yeah.
But now if they're becoming more strict, and
Well, that's why you need to pay attention. This is the problem. Okay, what else we got? What else we got?
I think those are the most important ones. Oh, also about seller concessions. You know, there was a time where buyers were offering, pay extra and above for appraisal value, and they were bringing extra cash because that was the environment. Now we might be in a bit of an opposite, where sellers might be bringing credits towards closing costs, mortgage buy downs,
Yeah.
to help make the deal. So
Seller credits aren't necessarily a bad thing,
Right.
And there are many ways where we can put things together where it's still very beneficial for the seller, because the only thing that really matters, what most sellers care about, is not all the intimate details, but what is the bottom line? How much are they going to make off the sale of their house? And sometimes being creative with how we can help a buyer buy your house with seller credits can ultimately improve the net that you ultimately end up getting. So seller credits can be a really good thing when you're selling a house.
And not necessarily see that as a negative. Let's say you get an offer and the buyer's asking for closing cost. Don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, or it's just, I think it's just the nature of the current environment. That's just how deals are getting done a lot of times.
All right, that's awesome. Anything else, Julie, to wrap that up?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, thank you.